Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Colton, and in today's video I want to talk about the rising cost of film and what my plan is going forward in how I shoot film. Now, a lot of content creators have already made videos about this. I just want to throw in my 2 cents. My history with film is that I'm used to back in the day when film was $3. Really high-end film was like $6 or $8. Now we're getting up towards like, I've seen stuff for like 15, 17, even getting closer to like $20 per roll. And that's not even with development or scans involved, which if you like really high-end scans, then you kind of have to go the route of either spending a lot to set up your own scan or just paying the photo lab to do it. So back in the day, I would just buy film because it was so cheap, and I would just shoot randomly, loosey-goosey, you know, take pictures at friends' parties, go downtown, walk around, just take pictures of stuff. And now it's gotten a little too expensive where that doesn't feel as fun anymore, knowing how much per shot it is to just randomly take a photo. So for me, I think the main thing is pulling back, sadly, on how much film that I'm shooting and being much more intentional and specific with what I do shoot on film. So kind of putting together a project and knowing a clear goal or a clear intention for the project, as well as a clear reason why I'm shooting that project on film as opposed to digital. I currently have 2 projects in the works that I have been shooting on medium format film. I will continue to shoot those on medium format film, but any projects going forward will have to meet that criteria. And with that being said, no more 35mm film for me. You know, that's kind of a sad thing. That's what we, for the most part, I think most of us start with. But the Mamiya 645 Pro, one of, if not my all-time favorite camera. So I will just be dedicated to only shooting film on that camera when I am shooting film. And generally just pulling back overall on how much film I'm shooting. But I will be replacing that with something else because I'm not just going to stop shooting stuff. I still enjoy taking pictures at parties, at nightclubs, walking around a neighborhood and just taking pictures of random stuff that I see. But I will be doing that going forward with some specific digicams that I have. These are digicams that I've reviewed on the channel, so feel free to check them out if you want to learn more about them. But the 2 main ones that I'll be shooting with are the Fujifilm J40 and the Olympus E300. The J40 from Fujifilm is perfect to fit in your pocket. It's truly pocketable, actually lightweight. And to me, honestly, when I pull out that camera at a party or if I'm out, you know, dancing or whatever, people are really pumped to have their picture taken with it because I think for people my age, like that's the camera we remember using, you know, is some sort of point and shoot digital camera. So it's exciting for us versus, you know, 35mm point and shoot cameras. People my age were a little bit too young to really be highly invested in that. We remember shooting them when our parents would just hand us the camera, but it wasn't something that we actively like owned and pursued versus like we all had a point and shoot camera when we were in high school that we were taking our, you know, emo mirror selfies with, right? So it's really fun to shoot on that camera and people are always pumped about it. You also have the benefit of being able to show your friends the images right away, and that oftentimes gets people pretty jazzed up about it as well. And then for anything that's beyond just, you know, shooting at a friend's party or whatever, I have the Olympus eVolt E300, which takes phenomenal pictures. It is only 8 megapixel, but you'd be surprised how much quality you can get out of that 8 megapixel. And I think you could absolutely do some prints with that camera, photo books with that camera. Unless you're blowing up the images really big, you can get away with a lot because if you know the limitations of that camera, you can shoot some really sharp images. If you get the focus right, you get the lighting right, you would be surprised what you can get out of it. And the colors that come from that Kodak sensor are just amazing. You know, that's part of my complaint with modern day digital cameras is that they're very clinical and the colors aren't that interesting. I shoot a Sony a7 III for my paid gigs, so I know very well how bland the image can look and how much time it takes to process it and make it look interesting. But with the Olympus camera and with that Kodak sensor, the images just by default come out already looking good. So that is the camera I'll be shooting with. Since Digicam's barrier to entry is so much lower and you can buy kind of more of them because you just pay for the camera and then you don't have any additional costs after that other than just recharging the batteries, which is next to nothing. So it's like, I also have an Olympus C7070, an Olympus E500, a C765, I have a Nikon 8400. These are like $5 to $10 each. And they all take pretty decent photos, and they are a little bit more film-like, and they're just fun. So that fun experience I had shooting film, walking around randomly, continues on and lives on through these Digicams, and that's kind of my route that I'll be taking, is shooting specifically medium format when I have a project in mind that requires it, and for all other things, shooting Digicams. Aside from, you know, paid gigs, I'll still shoot the Sony a7 III. But that is my plan. That is my 2 cents. I would love to hear what your plan is. Are you planning to shoot less film, no film at all? Are you switching from film to something else? I love to hear those ideas because those also inspire me to pursue some of those routes as well. So I'd love to hear from you all. For now though, I'm Colton, and I will see you in the next one.